Good afternoon, everybody. I didn't think we were going to do another video after last night, but here we are. In the last hour, we've heard probably the words we've all been pining for, and that Raphael Varane to Manchester United is, according to Fabrizio Romano, here we go. The 4 times Champions League winner and world champion is about to join, we're not even disputing this now, the biggest club in the world in the next few days, pending a medical and him signing the dotted line. Flipping hell. I'm not going to carry this on my own. I've brought Robbie in because I thought this would make sensible to have another voice to sort of be the yin to my yang. And at this point, we need a bit of balance here. So, Robbie, I've not yet expressed my emotions, but I want you to get yours out of the way. You have made it clear on the social media how incredible this feeling is.
Yeah, so I actually didn't think Rafa Varane was going to sign because, we've seen this so many times where United's name gets used so they can get higher wages. But no, it does not look like that just now. And we've seen that from the type of journalists who are reporting it. We've seen Mohamed Bouhafsia, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Who's he's an amazing journalist, tier 1. Real Madrid and Man United are finalising the final details for the transfer of Raphael Varane. The final agreement should be found in the next few hours. So, there's only one other man who could seal the deal, and it has to be Fabrizio Romano, who also done the exact same thing and said, the agreement will be made in the coming hours or days. It's going to happen. There's absolutely no way that it's not. Jonathan Strager, who I don't know if you follow him. He's a great journalist as well. I've tried to actually get him on the podcast a few times. Mm-hmm. They say that they're not far away now. Like, it's basically done. I can't believe it. Because he's a final piece of the puzzle at defence, and we just need that defensive mid, which he's also Fabrizio Romano on his Twitch live stream, which he does now. He's went on and said Camavinga news. I'll fill that in soon. So, never know. It's just Camavinga's obviously young. He probably wouldn't be the finished article whenever he comes, but he looks really good. Every time I've seen him play, I've seen him play his first ever game when he was 16 against PSG. It feels weird. I'm even older than him, and I'm like 19, turning 20. The guy's so young, whilst he's so experienced. Stade Rennais, they're not going to be able to sign him on a new deal due to wage demands. They need to get rid of him this summer, because these high wages, they really can't afford them, and they also need money. They actually need to get a fee for him as well.
Mm-hmm. Mad. It is incredible, the business we're doing this summer. It really is. And it stunned me. People will ask the question about what were you doing when you heard we signed Sancho? What were you up to when we found out Fabrizio Romano tweeted, "Here we go for Raphael Varane"? Today, I was expecting, this is Monday, it's a slow day. Nothing. Sunday was probably that intermediate day between the end of pre-season matches and players going back to training for the week. In my wildest thoughts, I did not think just about an hour ago now, we'd find out he'd actually be a Manchester United player, that everything was practically done. Obviously, it's not official yet, but Fabrizio Romano and Mohamed Bouhafsia more or less, giving us as clear an indication that it is all but done in terms of the fee and the contract being drawn up. All the other bits and bobs were such as Varane's personal terms. The one annoying bit is that he's got a quarantine when he comes here, because unfortunately Spain is still on. I think it's still on the red list from the UK travel scale. I think
you're actually possibly wrong on that, because
really,
Rafa Varane, I'm going
elite sportsman thing.
I'm going to hope he's had 2 vaccinations, which will let him come over.
Well, he has been at the Euros, and France were not.
do you not really hope as well, though, the fact that he can get
Yeah, of course. I hope so.
Because I think the pre-season games, they mean a lot. I think Sancho will get a few in, possibly, before the season starts, get to know his teammates, because it does mean a lot. It looks like, the other signing that we'll bring in, I don't know who it will exactly be yet, possibly Camavinga. I think they will miss pre-season. I don't think they'll get any sort of run in at that point. I think they'll just be right into the Premier League, which is difficult. I wish we could do our business much earlier, like other teams like Bayern Munich. But I can't complain.
I think this is early enough, Robbie.
It's great.
This is early enough. I think what was it last year? We did Telles, Cavani, and Pellistri in the last, I think, 2 weeks of the transfer window, and we didn't. Yeah, so it was very late. We were doing deals for players that were not. It's essentially the first choice in the last 2 weeks of the window, and in the end, okay, Cavani came good. Telles played a very strong, large role in our success. I think Ahmad as well. He had to wait a few months more to join Manchester United because work permits and all that. Pellistri came and wouldn't really be seen as a first team starter. He'd probably go out on loan. He did that in the end. But this time around, this is quite early for me. We have now, it's exactly 2 weeks, but we are somewhat 18, 19 days from Leeds. And we have Sancho and Varane done. With that amount of time, I wouldn't be surprised if we did make a third signing, or if even really stretching and outgoings permitting, of course, a fourth or even a fifth. But the thing is, we get conflicting reports about the financial stuff. We'll talk about that later on, of course, in this quick show. But we get conflicting reports about the finances United have and if they actually have enough to be able to make the number of players they want to sign possible this summer. But so far, the way they've structured the payment plan for Sancho is enough so that they feel that they can actually go out to buy Varane. And now they are practically done with Varane. It's the next step, which is, excuse me, the next step would be for me, either the DMs, I think it is the DM really. It's an essential position. Now, if you're bringing a player of Varane's quality in, you have to have a solid solo defensive midfielder. Or it will be Kieran Trippier for the chap to challenge Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. We still haven't got around to talking about the striker thing, but something we don't have to worry about this summer. Robbie touched on Camavinga, everyone. Obviously, he's clearly very excited about the prospect of him. The news, as I understand, is obviously recently Camavinga hasn't exactly, I wouldn't say warmed to Man United, but has considered the moving to the club. He's obviously rejected a new deal at Rennes in France. He's keen to move on early in his career, make that big move, even though he's still in his wee little years, the best part of it, 17 now, 18 very soon. The boy is an incredible talent, but he's obviously pining for Real Madrid, as there's reports in France saying that he wants to move to Los Blancos instead. Obviously, there's no money in Madrid unless they want to rapidly use this Varane finances to go and get him. They're also obviously on this, I know it's a stretch, but they're also on this, what they've recently been calling in Valdebebas, this Operation Mbappe, which is the idea, obviously, of bringing the world champion French superstar from PSG to Madrid. So this will sort of, let's just say, negate their prospects of signing players on the front, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that, Camavinga to Real Madrid, I don't think it will happen this year. I think, before his contract actually expires, I think a team will, take him away from Stade Rennais as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. You obviously know that PSG are interested as well. Bufasi, he has actually said as well that PSG are interested. However, United are the front runners, which is great news. We seem to actually be taking a lot of pride in the window, which we don't usually do. Getting the deals done at a decent pace. I did say last week, it looked as if it would be Sancho, all eyes on Sancho, get that deal finished over the line, and then we'll move on quickly to the next deal, which would Rafa Varane. I didn't actually expect it to move on this fast. Possibly next week I expect it to happen.
I think it's a demand of Solskjaer. He needs as many of his targets before Leeds done, because it's also got to be stressed that obviously when players join a new club, they need to learn about the system, the position that the players are going to play with, and adapt not only to the on a footballing front, but their new surroundings. So if you get these players in earlier, it advances their ability to be feeling more comfortable in a new city like Manchester, for example. So unlike Sancho, who's lived there, Varane, it's a new experience for him. So I feel that plays a role.
Yeah, I think also in the next week or so, it seems to kind of work in this phase just now where it's like, right, okay, we've done Sancho, right, okay, we've finished Varane, let's move on to whatever's next.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it'll either be Kieran Trippier, which I think will be the safer option, and I could possibly see that happen even more.
Mm-hmm.
Or, we could possibly work our way towards a defensive midfielder, which
I think that's a priority, Robbie.
Yeah, for sure, and I think it's even more a priority to get someone who's going to start from the first game. The first, Camavinga probably won't play every game every season.
Mm-hmm.
Young, you need to actually get nurtured into the team. Whereas, this is why I'm probably edging towards a player like Declan Rice, which will cost a bit more. Or, I don't even know if indeed he's for sale.
I don't think we should really consider Leicester as a selling club anymore.
Yeah,
in my honest opinion.
A lot of
money.
When
they're challenging
players. But yeah, I mean, a Premier League defensive mid, even possibly Thomas Soucek, I think those guys should definitely be looked at, because they won't go for a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. We seem to be actually doing our deals very well this summer. Possibly we could use, let's say, Jesse Lingard, who has been good in pre-season. He has obviously impressed. However, I would rather see him move on. And I think West Ham would be willing to take him back for sure. Basically took him to Europa League football, which is unheard of from West Ham in the recent years. So yeah, I think Man United should definitely be looking to use Jesse Lingard as an asset to use in the window, because he does hold some value now. It's not as if he's before he went out on loan, it's not as if he was like that where he would possibly go for 10, 15 million. Now you're looking at 30, 35 million, which is
because he has a promise. He has a promise to increase his form. I can hear an echo in the background, Robbie, by the way.
Okay.
Thank you. He has a potential to increase on the form that he was on earlier on when he moved across originally on loan. So my hope is if he can improve on that, I feel give him the chance, he can be, and this is, no word of a lie, he could be very important in West Ham's progression in the Europa League. They're in the group stage this year as a virtual one of the best teams to make it into the competition. So they will need the assets they had last season, not only to be retained, but also if they bring in Lingard. And I mean, they don't want to lose Declan Rice, but they're desperate for money, hence why they're putting price tags like that on him. Again, for me, I feel like if you're going to spend money this summer, go for Rice. But if you're not going to do that, and if you're reportedly only able to spend 100 more million, just think about looking around elsewhere for like quality talent at a low risk price. Obviously, high reward is difficult to find in terms of the standard of player you're looking for. And we have profiled, I'm sure, many who could play there, but it'll be a stretch. The Trippier thing, I think we're close. In fact, it's close enough, but it's just Atletico's stubborn. That's it, really. They're quite stubborn. And
they're quite set on a certain price tag as well, which is, out with anyone's reach for an aging right back who's going to be second choice. He probably, actually get looked at being replaced at Atletico as well. Marcos Llorente plays a lot of right back on the right mid, kind of position for them. So, yeah, I think they're kind of grasping with trying to get 35 million euros for Kieran Trippier.
It's a stretch. I mean, we hope to hear more about it. But the Trippier deal, last that we understand, it was really just in Man United's court to meet Atletico's fee. But I think if Atletico do bring it down, if they're modest enough and bring it down, Trippier wants to move badly, he pushes for it. We should see some developments very soon, I'm sure. that's pretty much it. We primed on a very short video because obviously this Varane deal has obviously broken very recently. So we wanted to give our instant reaction to that, and hopefully it did justice. Not bouncing around the rooms, unfortunately, because we don't have room to do that. But definitely going to have another one of these this week, or something along the lines of the waffle sessions me and Alexi did last night. So do stick with us, and we'll be back again later this week for more transfer talk and another long podcast style waffle session with Alexi. So, Robbie, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on, mate.
Much. I'll also be back with a FPL podcast as well.
Oh yes, we find out Sancho's price this week as well. Very exciting.
Oh yeah. So also what I'll be doing is bringing out videos for players who you should definitely look out for, and also be doing a video on players who you should actually be trying to avoid because either price tags or they just don't get enough points. So yeah, I'm going to dive into stats this week, see what I can find, and possibly one of you guys can join me as well.
Oh, I'll do my best, but if not, me and Alexi will be do our waffle session. We will release our FPL teams for you lot to see and enjoy, and judge for yourselves. So you can give stick for who we've picked, like we did at the Euros. It was pretty good at the Euros, even though I did quite badly. Less I think about it, the better. Thanks, everyone. Please like and subscribe for more on YouTube. If you want to share this out on Twitter as well, we'd really appreciate it. And if you like what we do, the follow button's there too. So hit that, and we'll bring out more of this lovely old content for you. But that's it from us. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. And yes, well, not really warm outside, but even still, enjoy it. Enjoy what you do today. And we'll see you very, very soon.